So Palantir has become a bit of a meme stock over the last, call it 6 months. And the reason for that is that their market cap has absolutely exploded. They're trading at a market cap of $372 billion right now. And they only have 3.5 billion in ARR, right? That was their number as at Q1. So they're trading about 100 times Q1 ARR, which is outlandish for a SaaS company, even one that's growing at a decent clip. Now, because of this and some of the other publicity that they've received due to some of their involvement in, let's call it, geopolitical situations, which is outside the scope of this podcast. We won't get into that too much. But safe to say, Palantir has been in the news a lot recently. And so what I wanted to do was take a look at the company's history and see if there are some lessons that we can learn in terms of how they've been able to generate such a big increase in enterprise value over the last couple of years. Because if we rewind 2 or 3 years, right, Palantir just wasn't a company that people spoke about. And as we get into some of the metrics here in the next little bit, we'll see why that was the case. But all of a sudden, they're everywhere, right? They're trading in a ridiculous multiple. They're in the news. Alex Karp is everyone's favorite or most hated CEO, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. But I thought it would be good to do a bit of an analysis on them. And the way that I wanted to do it was I wanted to compare them to a cohort of companies that also went public in 2020, right? So the interesting thing about that time period, unlike today, was that we had a lot of SaaS IPOs. And so I picked a couple of the companies that are probably familiar to you guys to compare them against. And so those comparison companies are ZoomInfo, Asana, Snowflake, and BigCommerce. So what we've done is we've taken the metrics from those 4 companies and compared them to Palantir's from that IPO period in 2020 through to today. So we're going to get into that in a little bit. But first off, I just wanted to do a bit of a recap on Palantir's background for those of you that aren't that familiar, because I think it's actually an interesting story.